super pumped for our guests that we're having on today, but we're going to fly through our numbers, go over some important notes and events we have coming up, and then we're going to get our guest on so we can rep it. But guys, super excited for today's call. All right, guys, submit board for the week. Submit for the week. Top 20. We almost protected 300 families for the week. 78 riders submitted business and protected families this week. We had Kyle D, Aaron K, Joaquin C, Landon B, Alonzo F, Matt G, Sam A, Jesse H. Ooh, you say that one.
Guillermina.
Yeesh, 8 families. Great work. Molly M, 8 families. Oliver M, 8 families. Walea and Chris. Guys, real quick. New logo coming out of Supreme. Walea and Chris killing it. I think they're literally like 90 days in. Just got their logo, guys. Super excited and congrats for you guys. Elisa M, 9 families protected. Felipe N, 10 families. Jose S, 10 families out of Fresno. Just opened a new office as well. Good work, Jose. Walter L, 12 families protected. Joanna M, 13 families protected. If you missed the training last night, guys, you missed out. She ripped it. She killed it. Loved it. Jason Loke, 14 families. Great work, Loke. Patton Amy Bowers, 15 families. Great work, guys. And Drew Hausler holding it down. 16 families protected for the week. Great work, guys. These are the top 20 producers for the week. Let's see if we can get you next week on the list. Top 20. That's what we need to be shooting for, guys. All right, guys. We did get the IP report out, and this is for June. So it was a 5-week month, guys. So the personal numbers and the team numbers should have been a little bit higher. But I tell everybody the goal is whatever you do in a 5-week month, you want to follow it up and do the same thing in a 4-week month. Because then they're true. Like we know we can do it if we do it in a 4-week month. But top 20, and this is issue paid. This is the business that is placed. Okay. Daisy C, I think this was her first full month in business. And guys, she's part-time. Daisy, 15 families protected. Great work. She was working 2 other jobs along with FFL and protected for 15 families part-time. Great work. Isaac L, 15 families. Matt G, 15, Elisa M, 15, Giselle B, 18 families, Felipe N, 19, Drew K, 19, Cindy H, 19 families. Great work. Tina A, 20 families, ODE, 21 families, Kyle Demian, 21 families, Cooper C, 21 families, Pat and Amy Bowers, 22 families, Alonzo F, 25 families. Guys, Alonzo's 19 years old, ripping it, working internet leads, dialing from the office. Guys, so pumped for what he's going to do in this business. 25 families last month. Great work. Oliver M, traveling the whole country, 28 families. Walter L, 28 families. Joanna M, 29 families. Jesse Hantla, 31 families. Chris and Walea C, 37 families protected. Guys, not a coincidence that they got their logo, right? When you produce 40% of your team volume, you're gonna put yourself in a good spot to hit your next promotion. Guys, great work. And Mr. Tony Rojas leading from the front, 39 families protected for the month of June. So guys, great work to the top producers, top 20 out there killing it. Guys, follow it up. I challenge everybody on the board, hit your numbers that you did in a 5-week, in a 4-week, which is July, right? We got 4 Thursdays to make this thing count. I'm excited to see who's going to be on the top 20 list. Guys, put a 3 in the chat. Elisa, don't make fun of me. Put a 3 in the chat if you're going to hit top 20 this month. Give me a 3 and mean it and follow through. I'm excited. I'm excited to see everybody come through for them. All right, guys, we got David Pinilla on the call. Super pumped. His agency's growing, killing it over telesales. And I'm super excited. First time having David on. So David, are you on? I think we're pulling you on right now, buddy.
I did both, so I don't know which one is which.
Bear with us, guys. Thank you.
Oh, there he goes.
Boom. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. David, can you hear us?
Love it. Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Hey, and guys, real quick, David, I've been wanting to say this. You got one of the most badass logos, I think, in FFL. FFL Disciples, guys, super sick. But guys, can you give me a 5 in the chat if you're pumped to have David on? 5 in the chat. Yeah, me too. David, for those of us that don't know you, can you kind of give us a quick background? How long you've been in the business? What's your team doing? What are you doing personally? Because I know you're out there personally killing it and leading from the front. But just give us a snapshot of who David Pinilla is.
Yeah, man. So before FFL, first off, I want to thank both of you guys for bringing me on. I'm super excited. Nina and Hayden always talk about you guys, and I'm like, man, you guys are like replicas. It's like, but it's super cool. So I'm super excited. But before I joined FFL, I was in the insurance industry. I was a captive agent. Comp was 50%, ran switch and bait leads. So you know how that went. So pretty bad. And then gratefully, Nina and Hayden reached out to me, showed me the opportunity, and they absolutely crushed it one weekend. And it was kind of like the Wolf of Wall Street moment, right? Like, look, if you can show me that for like 1 week, I'll quit right now. And so that's exactly what I did. And, ever since then, I've been super blessed to be a part of this business, this opportunity. Outside of that, I mean, the team crushing it. We're growing. Actually, this week, we absolutely crushed it this week. We hit a new record submit week. So I'm super excited about that. Super pumped. And then as far as personal, I love issue paid numbers. So issue paid, that's where you get paid, right? That's the paid money. With this past month, I always try and shoot for 30 plus. I can't go less than that. Absolutely. But that's a little bit about me. I do have a little bit more history as far as like what I came from before or during the insurance industry. I did have a lot of health issues, overcame that, and just super grateful, super grateful. So that's a little bit about me, you guys.
Dude, I love it. I love the energy. And can we dig into that a little bit, bro? Because I think a lot of people can probably some people say we got problems and we got issues. But I think some of the stuff that you went through, we need to hear as a group to kind of normalize, like, hey, man, today's not bad. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. And we can kind of put our excuses in the rear view. Can you kind of talk about what you've gone through personally? Yeah. And give us a little bit more about your business journey, I guess, with FFL.
Yeah. So when, just to kind of give you guys a kind of quick summary. So when I was very young, had kidney issues. Didn't really know it at the time. And I have something called outport syndrome. That just simply means your kidneys aren't functioning properly. They're not filtering properly. And so the doctors just told me, hey, David, look, we don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It may never happen. But unfortunately, my kidneys did start failing right in my early 20s, and I had to go through dialysis. And so, a lot of people, they may not know what dialysis is, or they do, or know somebody that's, going through dialysis treatment. Just to kind of make it real simple, dialysis, it's like going through chemotherapy. The difference is instead of you having to go through all those chemicals, dialysis is more of like helping your kidneys filtering out all the bacteria in your body, all that's in your blood, right? And so what that does to you mentally, it was life-changing and not in a good way. I remember and that was when I was actually working at my practice company is when I was going through that. And so having to go through not only through that situation, but also going through dialysis, it was just super hard, right? Like every day I was tired. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Get clients that call me a few times. But it's just like with dialysis, you're drained. Like every time you did treatment, you were drained. And I did treatment every day, and I did it for 10 hours straight. I did it while I was sleeping. And so for me, going through that, taking care of my daughter, my wife who doesn't work, and I'm the primary breadwinner, there's no exceptions. Like I can't I'm tired, but it was like, I had a big purpose. The purpose was, if I can overcome this, the testimony that I could leave not only for my child, but for anybody that listens to it, it'll be life-changing. So, I said, let's fight through it. I did it. And by the grace of the Lord, I got a kidney transplant and, super healthy. People say how do you feel when you get a kidney transplant? And it's weird enough to say it, but you feel normal. Like normal is what you're supposed to feel, right? And so Dallas just took that normality away from you. And now that you get it back, it's like you're super grateful, you're super excited. Like, you get all your energy back. It's like every morning, like I don't feel drained or tired anymore. Now I feel like, man, this is what life is supposed to feel like. And so, that's kind of what I went through, what I struggled with. And so for me, like for people who give me excuses, I don't really listen to you. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I also do mean it in a bad way. Because like, why are you giving me excuses when you know what I went through? So it's kind of like putting that into perspective for people, like just understanding, like, trust me, we all have our hardships. Not saying that your hardship is way, has to be worse or terrible than mine, but you just got to make sure you find solutions. Like you guys are integrity partners. I promise you guys had plenty of downfalls, but what y'all did and what's the difference is y'all just found solutions to the problems. And I'm nothing crazy. I'm grateful. I'm a miracle, right? I'm grateful for that. Super, super excited. And, that's really it. I'm nothing crazy special, man. I just go put my head down, go to work. That's it.
Well, first off, dude, she's over here in tears and you got me in tears, but like, bro, like I guess this is what like the backbone of family first life is. Like we're no excuse, no, like we don't hang up our excuses, right? And hang on to them. I feel like everybody in this business has gone through some stuff, right? Everybody that's winning at a high level has had their back against the wall at some point. And I think, you more than that, we've actually got a guy on our team, Felipe, one of the hardest workers on the team, went through the same exact thing you did. And he's probably around the same age as you. And it's powerful because he just leads with his heart every single day. And I can tell just by listening to you, you do the same exact thing. And to have a child and a wife, and I can't imagine the helpless feeling that you probably had going through that, just saying, hey, well, I still need to somehow provide and make this thing work. I'm the man of the house. So we got to figure this thing out. And, by the grace of God, getting a kidney transplant and getting better, man, God bless you first off. And I'm glad you're healthy. Yeah. But like, what a testimony, guys, like coming in, no excuse whatsoever. Like Sean says, like, do you have cancer? Like, are you, what's going on? Right. Get to work, man. And this dude puts on his hard hat every single day. I see him because him and Robbie and everybody's posting so much, representing their people and shouting everybody out. But David, give me a little bit about your struggles early on with FFL. What did you go through that you had to something like, hey, I need to fix this or it's not going to work? Because I think a lot of people right now are right there where we can go either way. We can be out of business in a month, or we can really double down and make this thing work like everybody else is. What's something that you went through?
So with my practice company, they didn't teach us much about business fundamentals. What they did a lot was like motivate you. Like you'll get there one day, but that day isn't today. So with what FFO really taught me is actually how to properly function a business. And by doing that, and what I remember very clearly was whenever we went to convention in Florida, Kevin O'Leary, he specifically said, I forgot the term he mentioned, but it basically what it means is understanding like how much does it cost a business to be able to properly bring in the clientele that you need to functionally to maintain that business, right? So basically what he's stating is like, how much do you need to spend on marketing? In our scenario, it's leads. How much do you need to spend on leads to be able to understand how many clients you will sell that week, month, etc., so that way you can produce, whatever amount needs to be produced in order for your business to properly be maintained. And so that's what I learned. That was my hardest struggle, was understanding the numbers. And so until I dove deep. Now, obviously in the beginning, just because I had insurance experience doesn't mean I was the greatest or knew it all. Trust me, they taught us bad things back in the captive agency. So, I kind of had to relearn. I was kind of like a new agent. And so, going through the skill sets, understanding people's mindset was a struggle for me. But once I got the lead flow, that was the key, the lead flow. And then just doing it. And like, it's like a system. It's not like I put no emotion to it. it's like, cool, I need to spend 1,500 to 2,000 a week. Like, that's what I got to do.
Yep.
There's no way around it. Like, if I want to produce 30, 40, I have to. I can't spend anything less. So, and then obviously your skill set will get better because you'll have more reps, and eventually it'll just be like clockwork every single day. Yeah,
guys, we've heard this time and time and time again, right? It's the same things. And David, I think the biggest thing is we know the X's and O's, right? We know we need to invest in the business at a high level. But I guess, how did you remove the emotions from investing in your business at that level? Because, right, a lot of us, when we find FFL, we're not in a perfect financial situation. But I guess, how did you get out of your own way to know that I got to run this thing like a business and put myself in the best spot to win financially? But that, again, is investing in a high amount of leads per week. How'd you remove your emotions from that?
Well, the way I removed my emotions from it, honestly, it was just like repetition, and I just had to grind. Like, my first 3 months, y'all, I mean, I stayed in the office from like 7:30 to like 9:30, 10:30, like, and obviously back then we ran in the field. So I would just be in the field during that time as well, until I got it down, because right now, like, I didn't have a lot of money in the start. So I had to build my capital. So I didn't have a lot of money, but I had a crap ton of time. So I had to substitute that. So by doing that, door knocking, dialing while I'm in my car, while I'm driving, door knocking, making sure everything's in order, until I started building capital. And once I started building capital and making more money, then I started putting it more towards leads, which started saving me, not necessarily, a little bit more time. And then so I kept, repeating that back and forth, but I still had to work those long hours. Like, I still remember working 18, 16, 12 hours a day just to make sure, like, I'm set up properly. It took some time, but once I got the system down and the capital, then it just started being, that's when the emotions, like, in the beginning, my emotions, like, we're human, it's supposed to happen, right? But after a while, you just see it happen again and again and again. Then your emotions are like, well, this is kind of repetitive. I don't think I really need to worry too much if it's doing the same thing again. So,
dude, I appreciate you so much for sharing and opening up and getting vulnerable with us. But I think it's so powerful because, guys, this is something I feel like as a team, we don't hit on enough, right? It's normal to be nervous about purchasing leads. It's normal to get to feel super uncomfortable to purchase more than you've ever purchased before, right? A lot of us, when we hear 1,500 to $2,000 a week, that's like, dude, it almost feels unheard of, right? How could we get to that point? But what alleviates the anxieties in the business, guys, is literally going to work and getting better and plugging the reps in and showing up for your clients and door knock. Guys, it's all the little stuff that starts adding up to where I'm more confident than I've ever been because I know I'm putting every single ounce I have into this. And I think we just need to normalize that. And guys, if you're there right now, it's not a bad thing, but can you put a 2 in the chat? If that's like, hey, 1,500 a week would scare the heck out of me right now. Give me a 2 in the chat. And I'm not mad at you, and I appreciate you guys sharing, but I think we need to normalize that, guys. It is nerve-wracking. She would make fun of me, guys, because I would put in my credit card for the lead purchase and I would delete the number. And I would do it over and over again because I was so nervous, right? I was so nervous because I was like, man, I got to invest in this thing. Like, dude, what? I'm used to saving my money. Now we got to pour it back into the business. So, dude, I'm super pumped for you. This is one of the better calls we've had, and I'm not surprised. But what do you see with new agents? Because you're hiring a ton of people, right? Mm-hmm. What are you doing and your management team doing to help them get going in their first 30 to 60 days to ensure that they're winning?
The first 30 to 60 days, obviously, we want to get as many reps as possible. So we're trying to shoot for at least 100 presentations in front. But in the very beginning, it's very like, I want the new agent to see me produce at least around 5.
Okay.
It's not like, because, obviously they'll see the script, they'll see the trainings, the products, they're going to see so many different scenarios with just 5 presentations. Like, not everyone's the same. So I want to make sure they understand, like, hey, we get loads of crap too. Like, you're going to see me not make sales. And that way it gives people more confidence. Like, yeah, this guy's just a normal guy. He messes up. He just buys a crap ton of leads and he just goes to work. Nothing crazy. So it builds that confidence. Like, okay, I see him do it. I can see him do it. It's pretty easy. Okay. Then the next step is, all right, now you're going to do it. Right. And then but while you're doing it, I want to hear you, not to like make fun of you, but if you have a sale, I want to save it. I want to save it with you. Because then, that's just taking away money from the new agent. So I'm going to be there with you for at least the first 2 to 3 sales. Because you saw 5 of me. I want to see 2 or 3, but I also want to see some no's out of you too. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want just easy ones. I want some objections, some real objections. See how you handle those. See if you act like a weird person or like a normal person. Like it's okay. Trust me. You've seen it happen to me, and I mess up too. And I tell myself, man, I should have said this, but it's okay. Whatever, on to the next, right? And the reason why I act like that is because I spend so much and I have so many leads that I got to keep dialing. Like I spend so much that I have no time to worry about the no's.
Yep. And I don't know about you, but what really helped is when I had so many leads, I didn't have time to get nervous and anxious about picking up the phone because I had no other option. And I'm David, I'm sure you've been there too, right? When we make these huge lead purchases, guys, it subconsciously forces you to go to work. It forces you to have to show up because you're like, dude, I could have gone and just, gone to the store and purchased a bunch of stuff for myself. Right. But when it's for our business, we're like, dude, we got to go to work. When you purchase leads, it forces you to work and show up. David, can we dig in to your agency, right? Give me a percentage of how many people right now are doing telesales compared to the field. And there's no wrong answer. I want the truthful numbers. And I want to know how important it is for you guys to get on your live dial and Zoom groups and really just be a community of helping each other.
Absolutely. So just, shooting you straight out of, so for example, like this week we had 16 writers. One of them was in-home.
Okay.
And all he does is in-home. And, obviously we tried telling him telesales, but, he's killing it in-home. And if you're killing it, why should I change it? If you're killing it, do your thing.
Yep.
If you need help, call me. I'm right here. But everybody else is all telesales. All telesales. Mm-hmm.
And what is a normal day for your team look like? Like, are you guys logged in at a certain time, logging out at a certain time? And I guess what's the team look like on Zoom when you
on
guys
Zoom? Yeah. So we all log in at 8 a.m. sharp, depending on, your time zone, right? So if you're Eastern, 8 there, 8 here in Central Time, and obviously in Pacific. Everyone try and log in at, you gotta be on live dials at 8. And then what I always tell everybody is look, we're here to help you. Like me, Robbie, and the leaders in our group are here to help you. But if you're not on Zoom, I'll probably take a little bit longer to text you back, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Just because right now I'm too focused on what I'm doing, because I got to make money too to provide for my own family.
Yep.
Why should I take that away just to help you? And you're not a part of the group, if that makes sense. You're not incorporating yourself, being uncomfortable. To me, that's just you're wasting my time, my family's time. And I find that a little disrespectful. Mm-hmm. So if you really want this to work and you need it to work, you'll hop on. I don't need to force you. I don't need to hold your hand. I'll help you if you ask for it and you're willing to be coachable. But there's a fine line. There's a fine line where if I see that you are wasting my time, I will not give you, I don't take that, because I'm trying to support my family. I love my daughter to death. So, to me, it's dude, let's go to work. Let's go to work.
And I love that, dude. And I think the biggest thing is like you said, we're not mad at anybody. We're not upset, and we're not going to drag people through the mud to do this stuff. But it's it's easy to get ahead, because if you show up and do the work, people are going to want to help you. If they see you going through the grind, and like you said, the first 90 days of this business, David, they were rough for me in Alondra, a little more for me, because mentally I was such in a bad place. I wanted to quit every other day. But if I didn't continue to just show up, like a lot of people on our team, right? And your team, the most consistent people's that show up and plug themselves in usually have the best mindset, and usually are the ones that are progressing at a quicker pace, right? Because the beauty of FFL, we're all independent. We all do whatever we want to do at different speeds, and everybody's okay with that. But I think the more we start running this thing as a team, whether you're in the field killing it or you're on Zoom, but just pick one, man, and really just go after it. Right. Cause I was a field agent, David. I love the field. That was my thing. I could listen to my podcasts in the car, getting my mind in the right space.
Yeah.
And now people can do that over Zoom, and we get the in-home presentations right on the phone, which is so dang. David, I got another question. If I'm a new agent, I got $500 ready to invest.
Okay.
Where are you pointing me? How am I getting set up? I want to do telesales. Like, give me like a week, like game plan for me.
Okay. Now let me ask, and we're just doing it for the week. Because what I would ask is, are you willing to spend 500 just for 1 week, or are you able to do that consecutively for the following week? Because what I'm gonna do with you in particular is set proper expectations and what you need to realize.
Okay.
And so number one, we're gonna go through the new system, the CRM, right? We're gonna have to get more swings at it.
Yep.
Because right now you suck if you're Brandon. Like, now you may be a killer. If so, great. That means you're gonna make it work. But at the end of the day, like, you need more reps.
Yeah.
But also setting the proper expectations. Like, sometimes, like, I have spent 1,500 to 2,000 and did not make my return. And that sucks. That absolutely sucks. So setting that proper expectation, understanding like that, hey, this may happen. Are we going to let it happen? Absolutely not. But just understand that will happen. This is a business, right? You're going to have that. Okay. But what I always recommend is always getting at least between 100 to 120 leads. If you don't have that many, you're just going to be kind of like twiddling your thumbs at work. So like, you got to go dial. So we want to get at least 100 to 120 leads. How do you do that? 3-month-old, 1-month-old CRM leads. Now, there is a vendor that I like to use also. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of Nectar, but we use them as well, especially for a new agent. If, let's say, they start off with 500, they match you. So now you just amped up their investment double. That gives them double the chances to make a sale. And one family protected is going to cover your investment double that. And I always tell every new agent, the absolute goal is to double your investment minimum. If you're hitting roughly around 4 to 5, you're doing great. Keep at it. But the minimum should be double. That way, I'm a numbers guy, and the reason why I say that is because you're going to get your chargebacks, etc. But we want to make sure that you at least double it, because then typically what I do is whenever I receive anything, I always go back half of it, or at least a little bit plus, goes back into the business, and then the other half I can sustain myself, or do what I need to do with there.
Spot on. That is absolutely spot on. And if let's say, David, I'm like, dude, I don't have money to invest in like these call programs and auto dialers. Like, am I good to dial manually? Like, manually, will that still work?
So that will work, but if you're going to do that, you have to work at least 12 hours. Are you willing to commit to that?
Got it. Okay. And guys, that's a huge piece. And if you're a manager hiring people, like, notate that, guys, because that's huge. If the agent isn't willing to do that, then they need to be willing to invest in some sort of auto dialer. That's huge. Go on, David.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, because if you actually use an auto dialer, you're going to save yourself at least 6 to 4 hours that day, every single day. So are you willing to save yourself time? And if not, well, then you're going to have to put in more time to gain more capital. So that way you can use that capital to, go reinvest back in your business, get that auto dialer, start making your dials a lot quicker, a lot faster, saving yourself more time, and, repeating that system over and over again.
What automation type deal do you recommend for your new agents when they're coming on board? Like, what expectation do you set for them? So they're ready to hit. Let's just say, hey, I want to do all telesell. Like, what are my non-negotiable? What do I need to have? How many like leads per dial day? If you can like walk us through, because we have a lot of people who are wanting to transition into virtual, but they're not setting themselves up properly. So what would you say are like non-negotiables besides, jumping on Zoom and, being on there all day?
Yeah, absolutely. So phone burner is number one, because that's a power dialer. You're going to go through your dials like like crazy, like a madman. So that's number one. Number two, you want anywhere between 100 to 120 leads. If you do a little bit more over than 120, you're going to have a little bit extra. That doesn't hurt nobody. But, if you want to maximize your dials, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Outside of that, there's another system that I use, but the system is not more of a power dialer. It's called Zippo.
Got it.
That's just you guys. Okay, cool. So the gentleman, Logan, absolutely helped me a lot with that. I think it's very good because the reason why is with Zippo, it's not more of a power dialer. The power dialer is more for a phone burner. The Zippo is more for automations. It's more for automations. What I mean by that is like, sending text blasts, sending email blasts, right? We can set it up where, hey, like, let's say you have a client, right? And you just help them serve a family. You can send an automated message and email stating their policy summary, right? Boom, you got that. Then not only that, but you can also send them like happy birthday or happy New Year's. So that way you're checking back in on your 1 year. And then you can also do it for your 1 year, right? And your reviews. So it has that automated system that I love. And then also we have something called the verified producer page. That page is where they show credibility. A lot of times when you're over the phone, you're going to get those people that say, hey, look, you sound sweet over the phone, but I just don't trust you. The freaking TV told me that we can't give people, our social security. Hey, look, John Mary, I completely understand. I actually feel the same way. Just so you guys know who you're speaking with, and that way you can kind of put a name on a face. I just went ahead and sent you a link where it sends you directly to my page where you can see all my licenses within the United States. Boom, they check it out. They see a picture of me, my background, all the carriers we work with, as well as the pictures of all my state licenses. Once they see that, trust is up they trust me like I'm like their son at this point. So, getting those objections. Now, are you still going to get them? Yes, that's just the name of the game. But is it going to probably lessen it? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Just don't sound like weird. If you don't, like Sean says, right? Don't sound weird and, talk like a normal person and you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of us, I know a lot of our team has just recently had jumped on the Zippo app, and it's been like a game changer from just getting appointments that you would have never got a hold of. We had an agent yesterday who threw them in and got 3 appointments just from, he's like, dude, I called these leads so many times, like they weren't answering my calls anymore, but they responded to text. So we're super grateful for that we just added that. And again, we got it from Limitless. Like there's no surprise that you guys aren't growing at the way that we are. And one thing I think that I really admire out of all of you leaders, you guys are on with your team in the trenches every single day, every single one of them, like from every single team, like everybody is just in that, but that's why you guys are growing at the rate that you're growing. It's just, there's no confusion. The people that are coming on, you're setting the right expectations and it shows. And it's just like you're pouring belief into them and everyone's checking in every day. So it's not like a lonely business. Because I think there are many times where you're like, I feel alone, like this is so easy, let me just quit. But when you got your squad that expects you to see you on every single day and you're jumping on, it's like, I'm letting them down if I'm not on, like I'm letting them down.
Huge. Absolutely.
Before we get you off, I think it would be bad if we did not ask you kind of like your sales process. Like, can you walk us through your typical call to close? Cause I'm assuming that's all you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I do is call to close. You guys just kind of want me to do like a brief rundown of like summarizing the like pinpoints that I do as far as my sales process? Okay.
Yeah.
So typically, let's say it's a Nectar lead in this example. Obviously when it comes to Nectar, we all understand that they're just looking for a quote, right? What I always tell every new agent is like, look, at the end of the day, when you get a lead, if it was a sale, they wouldn't need us. Okay, just point blank simple, right? That's why we get paid so much. So understand that. Number two, when someone's looking for a quote, they just want information. They just want information. That's all they want, right? It is up to you to point them to the right information, to the right direction, to the point where you're closing them, right? So when it, let's say I always want to introduce myself, and so that way they understand. So I'll just say, hey, John. Yeah, hey, John, this is David giving you a quick call here in the Benefit Center in Dallas, Texas, in regards to that life insurance coverage or quote that you were looking into. Hopefully you haven't been getting bombarded yet with too many phone calls yet, right? I'll make a joke out of that. The reason why I say that is because they do get bombarded with phone calls. With someone quick quote, They're gonna get bombarded. So now they're like, yeah, you're right, David. Like, I have been getting bombarded. Yeah, hey, no, I understand, John. My job is just to make sure you get that quote, that information. Okay, it should only take about 5 minutes. Worst case, go ahead and grab that pen and paper so that way we can go ahead and get you that information. Let me know when you're ready. I don't, just go straight to it, right? They know who I am. They know why I'm calling. Get them the info, and boom. Now he's like, okay, cool, gotcha. Once they grab that pen and paper, I want to make sure that they have my information, right? The verified producer page. Hey, John, just so you're aware, I'm going to be sending you a link via text with my license and everything you need to know in regards to who you're speaking with over the phone. Fair enough? Yes. Okay, great. But in the meantime, I do want you to write down my full name and my license number with the nesting. Okay, perfect. Now, for starters, John, I wanted to ask you, man, what got you looking into life insurance in the first place? Did someone recently pass away, or, what's going on? That now they're explaining their why. I want them to talk the first because, once they talk, they feel more comfortable. And so, they're explaining their why. I'll ask second level questions like, oh, how would that look like if you didn't have this, right? How would that look like for Mary if you didn't have your burial covered? What would she need to do, right? So I'm kind of building the why in that segment, asking those second level questions. Once I start doing that, now I want to explain how the process works. And what does the process look like? Well, John, just so you're aware, I am a broker, like how you saw in the link, with all those carriers that I work with. The good news is I'm not captive. I work with about 15 to 20 different A+ rated carriers. Now, the way this works, John, is very simple. We cannot choose how much you can get, etc., because you have to qualify, right? That's the key here, John, is that you have to qualify. The way they check is based off your age and your health, right? From there, it's going to let me know which carrier is going to suit you best. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. I want to make sure they're following with me because it's a lot of information I'm throwing at them. So once I do that, then I'm like, okay, great. So with that being in mind, John, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a couple of health questions just to get a good idea of your situation, specifically for your family and your health. So that way it can guide me to the best carrier for you because I don't work for them. I work for you. Fair enough? Great. And then I'll go through the financial inventory, right? They give me the whole spiel. I see where their system's at. And let's say it's a final expense. And, I have an idea. I know what carrier, let's say it's Americo, and we'll go through it. And he wants to take care of burial, right? So I'll always ask, all right, John, so when it comes to burial, have you ever had to deal with a burial before? The reason why I asked that question is if John says that, yeah, took care of a burial, it was $20,000. It would make no sense for me to offer him a $10,000 coverage. He doesn't see the need for it. What he sees the need is 20. So let's say in this example, he tells me, yeah, I had to take care of my mom. It was about 20. Okay. My condolences, John. My job is just to make sure that your family is properly protected. So from that point, then I'm going to close him by showing him 3 options. And what I do is I'm not the quote guy, right? I'm the guy that works on the medical side to make sure you qualify. Okay. So we're going to show you 3 options, and those 3 options are, and I'll give him the gold, silver, bronze plan, right? Do you have to call it gold, silver, bronze? Absolutely not. You can call it ruby, diamond, and emerald for all I care, right? But what I'm doing is I'm selling him on the idea of what it will do for his family. I'm not selling him on numbers because anyone can sell you on numbers. It's on what it will do for your family. So in this example, I'll say, all right, John, so for the gold program, that is 30,000 in coverage. For the silver, it is 25. And then for the bronze, it's 20. Now, the way the gold program works is that it's going to cover your burial. It's going to take care of any, debt that you may have. And it's going to leave a little bit of extra money behind for your wife. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, great. The silver is going to do the exact same thing. The only difference is you're not going to leave that little extra behind for your wife. Okay, so it's still going to take care of the burial, still going to take care of some debt. And then lastly, the bronze is just going to take care of the burial. Okay, so if you do have some outstanding debt, it's still going to take care of that. Maybe, right? It just depends on inflation, right? Prices are going up like gas, right? Make a joke out of it. But that's how that works. Makes sense? Okay, great. So the gold is this, silver is this, bronze is this. Out of those 3 programs, which one do you want to leave behind for? And then I name the beneficiary, in this case, his wife, Mary, so that way she's not worried in the event that you pass away. He decides. They always decide. And most of the time they choose a silver, right? But I always like to cement it. So then I always ask them, hey, all right, John, so I know you chose a silver, but I want, before, we move forward to making sure you qualify, and I mean this out of no disrespect. I just want to make sure, is this something that fits within your budget? Because my job is to make sure your family is properly protected and that food is not taken away from the table. So in the event you get a flat tire, is this something you can still take care of for your wife, Mary? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, great. And then, all right, perfect, John. So I know I got your first name, last name. What's your middle initial? And then I'll go right into the application.
Wow, guys.
That's the best I've ever heard. This is really, really good.
Wow, guys, we have the call recorded too. David, you're a beast, bro. Guys, give me one. Give me one if we learn something out of that. But bro, you keep it so simple, simple. And I love how you roll right into it. And it's like, I don't get the impression that you're a salesperson. Like, I really don't. Like, when you're just asking the right questions and letting them talk. And I think breaking down the different programs like that and really explaining like, hey, well, this is, the gold program, it's 30,000, but this is what it's going to do. A lot of us, I don't think do that. I think we do show the three options, and then it is a number. Like, we're just picking a number, but we're not knowing why we're picking that number. Right. But if you're putting more value in saying, hey, well, this is going to cover three things, and it's not just going to cover, your burial, you're leaving a legacy behind. You're able to leave, a little piece and make your family's worst day of their lives a little better with this. Right. And it's just little stuff like that, guys, that could increase your average AP per sale. Probably it'd go up at least 20%, David, doing that?
Yep, absolutely. Huge.
Guys,
it's changed my game for sure.
100%, dude. I could keep you all on here all day, bro. Like real talk. And I can see how you're doing well, and your team's growing around what you and your leaders are doing within your group. Great work, bro. But we're going to end it on that. We don't want to keep you on here all day, but man, literally, I'm not just saying this. I don't say it every week. This is one of the better calls we've had. And again, I appreciate you being transparent and opening up with the group, because I think we all need to hear it, right? We've all gone through a lot of stuff. Maybe you more than others, but dude, we're rooting for you. Anything we could do to ever help your group, let us know. And you're good peeps, man. Anything you need, just let us know. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you guys. Take care. All right. We'll talk soon.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye.
Guys, wow. I mean, that was great. I hope you guys got something out of that. We will post the recording, so that's something you could go back to and kind of pull apart and see if that's anything you could implement on what you're saying on the phones. We're going to go right in. We're almost done, guys, but we have these huge business overview meetings. They're everywhere. Guys, we had a lot of people asking how we can recruit. How can you start recruiting? Guys, if you know people in these locations, send them to the BOMs, because all the integrity partners, top managers, they're literally doing the recruiting for everyone, right? It just get your people to the meeting and let them know that you sent them, and any questions just to follow up with you. But let's really push people. I had a couple people that were new hires that we pushed to these meetings, and they said they were awesome, and they get more clarity. Instead of just hearing everything from you, they're hearing them from other top people throughout the company. So we're doing these every single month. There's going to be literally 100 meetings a month nationwide. So it's really recruit to these things and put people in these meetings to grow your agency. All right, guys, we do have the Bradley event, which I'm super pumped for. And that, again, qualifying for this event is $30K personal, 30 families protected. But guys, I want so many people to be there. I really want us to show out. And if you want to really take your business to the next level, this is like the stuff you have to hit. This really is, because again, you're showing your face along with other top producers. David's going to be there. Robbie's going to be there. Erica Walker's going to be, all of Limit. Everybody we've had on the call is going to be there, because they're without a doubt going to hit the 30. And last month, guys, just for reference, we only had a couple people hit 30 in a 5-week. So again, if you're behind, it's okay, but really, like, we got to start buckling down and get to the next level so we can really take your business to the next level, guys. Excited to see who's going to make it. And guys, we're doing a sales conference with Nina and Hayden in Hawaii. We're super pumped. It's going to be 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. July 18th. So it's coming up in a couple days. But guys, push people to it. I know, like, literally FFL hasn't really been out to Hawaii outside of production. We've had really big producers out there, but we haven't had a lot of people run actual conferences. I am so pumped to see everybody. Guys, let's get people that aren't with us yet to the business sales conference. Because again, it's not just your voice having to tell them on why this is the best opportunity. You're going to hear from other people, Nina and Hayden and us. And guys, it's just a lot better to leverage other people in the business, right? But let's get everybody there that you can. Message all your recruits and message people that might be interested in getting over there. And guys, you can register online. We'll share this link, but yeah, share it, send it out with people that you know that can get there.
Yeah, we'll just post it. I'm having issues posting it. So we'll just post it on the group me. So you guys can register your invites as well. I think that was it.
Guys, and of course, plug into Bing Bong if we're wanting to get better and utilize the training and hear the real-time people doing it over the phone. Of course, get on the bingbongdials.com. We have top producers slanging it over the phone, and we're super pumped for that. And then, guys, we have one more slide. I'm going to see if it'll let us get up there. But we really wanted to recognize, we have a new logo within the hierarchy coming out of Supreme, which I'm super excited about. But Chris and Walea, they came in on board, and they're absolutely killing it. And I think their team name is one of the best in the company, which I'm super excited about. And if we can get it up there.
Give me a second.
But guys, can we show some love? Like really light up the chat. These guys, they care about their team so much. Literally everybody we talk to that's in their group only has good things to say. And usually that's how it is when your agency's growing. It's because the pace of the leaders, right? They went out and wrote 37 personal.
Nope, it was actually 37, Chris, and then Walea did like another 11.
Okay, so guys, almost 50 families protected in one household. Guys, that's how you grow the thing. Like, because guys, and you don't have to be a power couple to grow it. I don't want people to get that stigma. Well, they have each other and it's easier. Guys, it's work. They work hard. And I couldn't be more proud of them and what they're doing. And guys, the whole Supreme agency and everybody that's just running the same play, they're not doing anything different, guys. They come from the same company that a lot of us come from, didn't hold what they had gone through over their head and let it, inhibit them from growing their agency here. But I'm excited to see what they're going to do. And I just wanted to congratulate them on their new logo. Strength in numbers, family first life, strength in numbers. And again, if you have their number, if you have them on Instagram, shoot them a text and just say congratulations. And guys, that's what we all need to be shooting for. We all need to get our logo, and we need to get to VP, man. 150 families protected, bonusable. And that's when we'll start getting that VP bonus every single month. So congratulations to you guys. Super proud and super pumped for you guys for what you've done in the short amount of time. But guys, we're going to wrap it up there under an hour. We're trying to keep them in under an hour, but you guys are awesome. Super excited for what's coming. Super pumped for these business overview meetings and really push people to them, guys. We had one in Bakersfield and I was kind of bummed because we should have had a lot more people, because there are so many people that are saying, well, I'm trying to build this and I'm trying to get more people here. And you didn't have anybody show up to a meeting where they're going to do the recruiting for you. They're going to go over all the opportunity here at FFL. And guys, there's a lot of people that need this thing. So I'm pumped. Alondra will be out in Victorville today. I'll be out Apple Valley. I'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah. Cecilia, I actually met with one of your agents out in Louisiana, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Great work to getting them out there. And guys, let's really push people to get to these events, and great work to all our leaders. We didn't have a new agent slide this week, which kind of bummed me out. So we will make sure to go back and have that ready for next week so you guys can get recognized. So whoever wrote business that's new this week, we will recognize you next week because we don't want to miss you guys doing the right work. But guys, super pumped for everything that we have coming, and new blood cures all. It's so cool seeing new logos pop up because that's what keeps people excited. That's what keeps people wanting to grow, because we have more people growing within the agency. So that's all I got. Alondra, anything else you want to say?
No, I'm just excited to see everybody. It's a lot of brand new faces. I mean, the people that we did meet in Bakersfield, I mean, they were great. They were hilarious. We had a guy that Cecilia also invited to Bakersfield.
Let's go.
And the guy came out from Ridgecrest, and he's hilarious. So I'm just excited. I'm just excited about getting more in front of people. And I think the more people this was probably one of my favorite calls, and just hearing David and just everything that he's gone through, and you can hear it in his voice, is his why is there. He's not making excuses and he's just going to work. And how many of us on our team really need to step back and evaluate what our actions are and what we're doing. And if we say we're virtual, like a lot of people, I think it bums me that we have so many people that are full time and they're not even selling every week. And that's scary because this can be your best paying job or this can pay your worst paying job. And at the end of the day, there is nothing more stressful than not selling in this business. And it comes out to where is your activity? How are we looking? How are we going to get better? You don't want to do this forever, but you get this to get ahead. I've told a lot of people, it's this may not be your passion, but it wasn't mine either until you start going out and you meet with new people and you talk to different people. It doesn't feel like work. What we do, I'm sorry, but it's just not work. Work is being out right now in 115-degree weather, building houses. That's work. We get to sit in an air-conditioned home or office or wherever we want to do and make calls with people that need our help, that if you don't call them, their family's not going to be taken care of. You get to meet so many different personalities. You can travel. If you're tired of staying in the office, you can take travel trips. That's what me and Josh had to do. It was just, we had to get uncomfortable. We weren't spending any money on leads and we had to just, hey, it's time to run this credit card up and actually go to work. We're not working. And for those, I know, Leia asked us the other time, he's did you guys hit Hall of Fame together? No, guys, we hit Hall of Fame separate. It was separate. Josh was behind and he was till the last day. It was December 31st. And he ended up finally hitting it the last day, but it was tough. It was tough, but it's it got us to where we needed to be. It got us ahead to where when we had to get more staff, to grow this thing, it was easy to do because it's dude, well, your bills, what you sell will pay the bills and what our sell will be what goes to our savings. That's kind of how we did it. And it allowed us to be able to do all that stuff. So,
and guys, reach out. If you feel like you're missing a link in your business, reach out to your VP or reach out to us or reach out to Tony and Marco and reach out to Elisa, reach out to Joanna and Walter, reach out to everybody that's out there killing it. Pat and Amy are killing it. Get in front of people that are working every single day, and don't be shy, right? Because if you're putting in the work and you need to make this work, and I'm going to share some love. I don't know if she's on the call, but Valencia, guys, got on and shared what she's going through, and she has to make this work. And hearing the emotion in her voice, it's you want to work with people like that, and you want to do everything you can to help them succeed. So if you're struggling, guys, the phone works both ways, right? There's a lot more agents in our group than managers. Reach out, because I promise if there's something we can do, we're going to do everything we can to help. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much. This group is sick. We've got a great group. And the more we show up together and get better, the better this thing gets. And the more people are going to want to come work with us. So let's have a huge week. Let's have a huge weekend. And man, guys, I'm excited. So talk to you soon. Get people to these business overview meetings. Thanks, guys.